Let me walk you through this virtual lab a little bit with this virtual microscope. This is actually pretty cool, I think, and it really does parallel the steps of working with a compound microscope in the classroom. First thing you're going to do is download this attached file, either the Word document or the rich text document. Both of them work. I've already done it to save us a little bit of time. So this is what you're going to be filling out. And you'll find the link to the virtual microscope both in this worksheet and in the class. And so we'll do a tutorial. You'll want to answer these questions as you work through it. So how many objectives are on the virtual microscope? What are the numbers listed on the objectives? Let's go to it and see what we got. All right, first thing you're going to need to make sure you know is that you have Flash 6 plugin on your computer. It's free. There's a place to get it right here, and it's necessary, else this doesn't work. And so I open my virtual lab, and here's my microscope.
Welcome. Click here for a tour.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is count my objectives, and there they are. There's one in the back, and this one in the back is the one that's actually the one that's being used at that time. It's a weird angle, but it is what it is. So you have one that has a 4 on it, one that has a 10, one that has a 40, and one that has a 100. That's what I have in my classroom. So 4 objectives there. Let's see. So I would encourage you to first start out going through the tour, and it'll walk you through the same steps that we use with a real microscope. So those of you that are thinking about going into nursing, you really want to watch this tour and get a handle on this, because you will be expected to know how to focus a microscope when you get into your next levels of classes. Of course, someone will be there to help you, but you really want to have an idea. All right, so you start the tour.
This simulation works very much like a real compound microscope. To succeed in getting a specimen into view, follow this sequence of steps. The checklist will help you keep track of steps you have completed. First, turn on the light. Click here to learn how to do this.
Okay, so you can click on here to learn how to turn on the light, but I'll give you a tip. It's right here at the bottom. So I've just turned that on. And so it will now walk you through. This is going to be the tour that gets you there. The next thing you do is pick a slide. And I'm not going to have him do the whole thing for you, because you'll be able to watch that yourself. Oops, I can't. Sorry, it's out of your... as you go over these, you see each of these slides. And the one that's out of your range there is the letter E, which we'll start with. So I clicked on it. When you have a real microscope, you have some kind of a clamp that holds it in, and it needs to be in straight. So I've picked my slide. Now I can switch objectives. I'm always going to start out on that 4, and when it's in the back, that means it's set up. The first thing you're going to do in my classroom even is going to be take that up to the top. Move this stage where the slide is up to the highest position. When you're in the classroom, you are not going to be very far off focusing the focus point when you do that, and it saves you a lot of effort. But you only do that when you start on the 4, what we call the field or range objective. And so it'll see more at a time. All right, so we can have switched our objectives. I can never get this the right way. I just went to the 100. You start at the 4, and then you go to the 10, and then you can go up to the 40 or the 100 after you get it focused on the 4. We're going to focus it only using this little guy right here. This is the course adjustment, and we use that on this short one. So we'll focus with this and then fine-tune with this fine-tune one. Oh, and also we want to get our slide in the right spot. So let's move it around. Do you see how I'm using these knobs up here to move my slide, if I'm going the right way? So I put my little dot that's on there in the center, right there where there's a little hole. That's where the light's coming up through the microscope. So that was reposition slide holder. Click on this and he'll walk you through it. Now I'm ready to focus. So I'm going to go up here and switch views. The first thing you're going to have to do is adjust this thing to fit your eyes. That's why we see these two circles here of light, because they're not quite lined up. And so you kind of drag this. Okay, here's where we left off. We turned on the light. We put a slide on. We switched the objective. We made sure that the slide was centered over the hole. And now we're getting ready to adjust the focus. But we also made sure, whoops, that goes something different now. But before, it was made sure this lines up so we have our oculars right. All right, now before we did this, we had pulled that up to the very top. So now let's bring that stage down slowly, and there it is. But you'll see on the course adjustment, it goes and comes pretty quickly. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of fine and see if that helps. But we're really probably going to need to do that on the other ones. So, all right, so we want to move that E that we can see, because that's what we're going to look at, to the center of the field. Because as we move to higher objectives, less of this is going to show. And if your E is over here and you've moved into a little bit more magnification, it's going to be blank. All right, so now I shall move, if I can do it right. No, I went to 100. Sorry, I go the wrong way. To the 10. And you'll see it's bigger. I need to adjust a few things. First, it's okay in the center. It could be a little better, but it's all right. I'm going to mess a little bit with the fine tune, but I will do that after I adjust the light. And that is so true in the classroom with a real microscope. The light is so significant. Oh, see, I'm going the wrong way on my fine tuning. Oops. So I need to go the other way. Because what we're seeing is we're focusing through several layers, and so we see kind of a bunch of junk on there. And boom, now we're really focused on that E. And you'll notice that the microscope makes things look upside down and backwards. Okay, so now you should have a handle on that. Let's go back to our handout. You're going to talk about what percentage of the diameter is taken up by the E at the different levels, so you put it at the different magnifications, and then identify which one of these letters is this over here. Then you're going to look at those other 3 microscopes up at the top, onion root tip, bacterial capsule, and cheek smear at different magnifications. Find the one that's right for it and just write a quick description of what you see. Then you do the what's wrong with this picture right here. Let me show you a couple of these. So you're going to look through all of these and focus them well. And when you finish all this, you're going to see something different. I just clicked this little X arrow, this little X that was on this text box over here, so you can see the try this that was underneath it. And those are the ones you're going to figure out what's wrong. And so you'll click on P1, and when you look at that, go in there and try to figure out, do you need a light turned on? Do you need more light? Do you need to adjust the magnification? Do you need to center it? Let's look at this one together. Okay, so it's on the 10. We don't want it to start there. Oops, I go the wrong way every single time. Now I'm on the 4. That's where you want to start. Oh, look, it was up way high. And so now, let me move that to the center. So I would write in my handout, if I can find it, on this one, that it wasn't centered, and that I needed to adjust magnification, and whatever else I do to make that look like a really nice E. And you'll do that for all of your choices for the try this. You can get back to it there. All right, so you work through those. So now we finished this, what's wrong with these pictures. You've worked through and written a short description of what you had to fix on all those. Now go ahead and click on this link right here. I can use control click, I think, to make it work. Well, I'm on a laptop. Sorry about that. I got myself there. Here you are, and this is what you'll see. And you can also get that through a link in our class as well. So you see the slide 1 is blood. Slide 2 is a dust mite. This is really what a slide really will look like through the microscope at different magnifications. 3 is mouse hair, and that's what hairs look like. You see that the cuticle and the keratin of that. So here's a leaf, side view of it coming out.